broken down?
Yeah.
Welcome to the channel, and yeah, as you can see from the title, James's bike, bless it, has gone bang. Just fixed Louise's one over here, got that mended, and the very next day his went bang. It's got the old two-stroke curse. We all had it. Anyone that rode two-strokes back in the day know that you do about 6 months on them and bang, you're rebuilding them, you put new pistons and rings and God knows what else. All did it. This thing here, we bought this with 23,000 miles on the clock, which is high for a moped. And it's been faultless. There's been nothing wrong with it whatsoever. So all we've done is top the two-stroke up, put petrol in it, and away he goes. But yeah, it's finally given up the ghost. So James, bless him, he's off the road, which is really hurting him at the minute because, yes, it's a moped, but it's still his motorbike. And it means as much to him as my cross tourer means to me, or Louise's 125 means to her. It's a motorbike and it gets him out on the road. So, you know what, he's annoyed. So I am not going to just chuck this thing in the bin and give up on it. I've never rebuilt an engine from scratch before, especially not a bottom end. And I'll show you what's wrong with it, because we've taken the engine apart just to see where that rumbling was coming from. So this is the crank, and that's the crank bearings. They should all be in great condition. And see, on the left hand side they are, and they run lovely. However, on the right hand side, they're missing. There's bearings missing. There shouldn't be. They are somewhere in the crank, and I'm hoping they haven't been dragged up inside the bore. Although the piston and the bore look okay, I think these have all just landed in the crank and just been swished around. Yeah, they shouldn't look like that, and you know, that bearing's completely seized. So that's what the rumbling was, and that's what caused it to lock up. Which, for me, is really good, because it's obvious the reason it seized and the reason that it was making a noise is because of those bearings are missing. So I'm hoping that that was just the problem, and if we replace these bearings, which I've got a new set of these, I've got a new gasket set, I've got everything to rebuild the engine. I'm going to give it a go, because I do not like giving up on things. I think if it's mechanical and it's repairable, repair it. That's my opinion, and I really enjoy doing that. I'll show you the crankcase. So this is the two halves of the engine we took off. I'm just cleaning them up at the minute because they've got 20 years worth of grease and crud all over them. But yeah, so that's inside the engine case itself, and you can see there's just bits of bearing in there. The actual casing itself looks fine. There's no damage. A piece of bearing hasn't gone through or scratched anything. But you can see on the main, this is the side it went, there are some scores on the inside of this oil chamber there that hopefully won't cause a problem. But the bearing seat itself, again, it's undamaged, so the new bearing should just slide straight in with a bit of luck. But you can see, I mean, I have taken them out, but there's bits of old bearing and casing in there. And I'm just hoping that they didn't go up into the bore and scratch it. But I have looked at the bore and it looks okay. So, but a two-stroke engine, one crank, one conrod, one piston. I mean, it can't be that difficult, can it? So, yeah, wish me luck, and if I can fix it, he'll be out on the road. You must have heard me mention in the last video that if I manage to fix it, I'll be James's hero. If I don't fix it, then I'm a loser. But no, I'm a hero today. So anyway, I just wanted to put this short video up just to say to anybody that wants to give engine building a go, like if you've got a bike, especially an old one like this, give it a try, because I'm not a mechanic, I'm a carpenter by trade, and I haven't rebuilt an engine since I was a teenager, when we used to run around on two-strokes and they used to blow up all the time. Now, I had two real troubles doing this bike, and I'll explain what they were. The first one was getting the bearings off the crank. The left-hand side one wasn't that bad, but the one that had seized had obviously got too hot. So it was really fused on, and I watched YouTube to see if I can find any ways of getting them off without the proper tools. And you know what, I didn't want to break the crank, and I saw some people smacking them with chisels and whatnot, and yeah, I didn't fancy doing that. So I went onto eBay and spent, what, about 18 quid, and I got a complete brand new bearing puller kit. I've got two bearing pullers in there. I used the smaller one, and you know what? That's what they say about having a proper kit. It got the bearings off in about 10 seconds flat. So that was problem number one out of the way. Problem number two is, now I know really the old-fashioned way, or the proper way, is to probably put the bearings in the casings, the new bearings in the casings, and then put the crank in and have it all pressed together. I don't have a bearing crank press, nor do I really know how to do that. So I called my stepdad up, who gave me some old school tips, because I used to watch him do things when I was a kid. That's how I learned. And now, I always remember as a kid that there was always something in the freezer that shouldn't have been there. It was a set of bearings, it was a crank, it was a crankcase. There was something in the freezer that used to drive my mum up the wall because he'd been putting bike parts in there. And now I understand why. Because I had real trouble, once I put the bearings on the crank, they were on fine. I'd use an oversized socket and just tap them on. I had a real problem of putting the two crankcases back together with the bearings trying to sit in their seats. I just couldn't get them in. So I called him up and he said, Paul, there's only one way to do it. You must remember how I did it. And that was put your crank and the bearings in the freezer overnight. Warm the cases up with a blowtorch before you put the crank back together, and it'll all be fine. And I kind of thought, you must be mad. Anyway, put the crank and the bearings in the freezer, as he said. Got the engine cases, the two aluminium cases, and I just warmed the seats up of the bearing seats for about a couple of 10, 20 seconds with a blowtorch. Not to get them too hot, because you don't want the temperature differences to be too severe that anything could crack. Just warm them up, and you know what? He was absolutely right. These old school backstreet mechanics, he just knows it. I put the crankcases together, and they just went absolutely beautiful. Tiny little tap, and it all went together. And now I just managed to leave a little gap so I can get the sealer in the crankcases to get the two cases together, and then it just kind of pushed in, bolted them up. That was the crank done. So yeah, thanks for that tip, and thanks for explaining why there was always engine parts in the freezer when I was a kid. But anyway, I won't ramble on. This was just a quick video to sort of follow on from the last one to say that yes, I've managed to do it and it works. So yeah, give it a go. Give mechanicing a go, because it's actually quite good fun, and when it works, it's great. I certainly wouldn't have made this video if it didn't work. So yeah. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We're trying to build this channel, and all the subscriptions will really help us out. So yeah, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one. We're off out for a ride. Cheers.